moving to rural northeast South Africa in the early 1990s was to redress in part the almost exclusive focus on urban research and to bring to light the health and development problems facing the marginalized rural populations of our country. To do this, we brought the best science to bear, collaborating with outstanding scientists both within and outside South Africa's borders, and have done so for 30 years. We have forged long-standing partnerships with local communities and learned much about effective public engagement, so vital to sustained and ethical research in communities like these.
This unit believes in the intrinsic value of public engagement, and if we do believe in the value of longitudinal health research data, then we need to make sure that the community and the service providers that we work with trust and respect us, and we need to trust and respect them.
As a public engagement officer, we learn a lot from our communities. We meet with different leaders and other stakeholders. So I think the unit also is doing fair to our community because when we look on our staff that are working for the unit, the ones that are coming from the villages that the unit is operating. So we are learning a lot with these communities, and the communities also are learning a lot from us.
The 1990s spanned the late apartheid years and early post-apartheid period, as well as emergence of the HIV and AIDS epidemic. Early work focused on how best to support government in developing health systems appropriate for the new South Africa. We quickly realized that the lack of reliable information was a serious obstacle to informed planning and resource allocation. Drawing on lessons learned elsewhere in Africa and in Asia, we set up a health and socio-demographic surveillance platform covering whole populations in Bushbuck Ridge. Through this, we have learned of the profound health and social changes affecting these populations and others like them.
Three things struck us forcefully. Of course, the heavy impact of HIV/AIDS, and particularly on families. The surprising rise in deaths from stroke, particularly among middle-aged and older women, and the pervasive effects of labour migration. All of this points to a complex health transition along the phases and stages of the life course, from childhood through childbearing and parenting into middle and older adulthood. We recognized this was probably the extreme end of patterns unfolding across the continent, perhaps more intense in rural South and Southern Africa, and that there was little precedent to inform health and social systems. And beyond that, the breadth of disciplines needed to get to grips, across biomedical sciences and social sciences, environmental and measurement sciences, all needed to be brought to bear. Looking to the future, it's clear we're confronting complex patterns of illness, with effects on health and personal or community development that often are not predictable. I expect we'll seek to better understand health and well-being among adolescents and youth, as well as adults and elders, as they seek fulfilling lives and careers across the lifespan. These are great challenges where poverty is pervasive, and societies tend to reinforce rather than combat inequalities. Grasping risk and resilience, key to durable mental health, as well as appreciating multimorbidity, appearing all too young, will no doubt be key. Clearly, we must devise new, more effective and sustainable systems of healthcare and social support that take advantage of the parallel revolutions underway in digital innovation and communications, in data handling and analytics, as well as genomic research. And work to engage stakeholders, community, government in the first instance, but similarly non-governmental organizations as well as the private sector where appropriate. This can help to set priorities, target investments for greater returns, as well as potentially create jobs. And fundamentally, we must do all this in ways that support new generations of scientific leadership throughout their careers.